in the Western Hemisphere, and especially in North America. There were 500 nations, 300 languages. Many native First Peoples were living here before Europeans came to this continent. And of these nations, there were some, how many I don't know, but there were some who not 2,000 years ago, but up to 10,000 years ago, or maybe earlier, and they were worshiping the one true God, who they called the Creator, or the Great Spirit. So let us remember that when we see the Native Americans and when they perform their rituals, that these people were highly spiritually sophisticated people who honored the great circle of life. And everything was equal. Men and women were equal. Animals and humans and plants were all equal. They all had equal respect in the eyes of the Creator. And so it is my great honor to now introduce our chief, Unkwatasi, from the Akwesasne Mohawk Nation of the Iroquois Confederacy. That thought is the American Revolution Memorial Marker Patriot sign, which was put all over Massachusetts in 1931. That sign was installed Memorial Day, 1931. There was never any mention of Mr. Albert E. O'Hare saving this tree. Yeah. Christ is here today with his presence. He drove down from New Hampshire, I believe. We'll say a few words about his grandfather and about their heritage.
Brother Dan, whose mother was my father's sister. There were 3 children, and Dan's mother had a twin, her daughter that I talked to from the my father would love this. My grandfather, none of us knew him. And just as a remembrance, is present here. Like the chief, he came from Canada, settled up in Merrimack Street. He was a successful businessman for many years. And this is unlike his nature, because I remember talking to my father a couple of times, and I asked him, my grandfather's store was on Bird Street, at the site of the old cooperative bank. And I wondered why he put it there. And he was always thinking civically and forward. There was a thought that the business sector would move up that way, and so he built the store. Another thing that I remember about him, he was very low-minded. And I asked my father one time why they didn't have a low license plate, a low-numbered license plate, because they had automobiles in the early 1900s. And he had one, my father said, but then they opened the registry in Lowell, and he was chastised by somebody for having a Lowell license plate and not supporting the local registry, so he turned it in. So that was his nature. Now, no one knows about this, but when we were little kids, like a lot of people who grew up around Thanksgiving every year, we had talks about the Indians, the Native Americans, and so we would bring these into class. George, I want you to note this. And these supposedly are artifacts that were found in the general area. And this is a bowl made of stone. A rolling pin pestle, I don't know which part that was, which we used to demonstrate dividing these up corn. And then, I don't know what this is. I never saw it. It's some implement that came with it. And then this wedge, we always thought it was a tongue rod, but I'm not sure. Maybe the chief can attest to some of this. I don't know if this was before or after the Native Americans were here, but I thought it was appropriate to show. You certainly put quite an effort into this. Thank you.
Thank you. Peabody Museum of Archaeology in Andover at Phillips Academy.
I'm not going to say much, but the legend pertaining to this tree was never written down. It's always carried by word of mouth, year after year after year, until finally an engineer who was drawing the plans for this Clark Road put on the plan Pow-Wow Oak. And that's the first record for this tree in writing. Since then, you can look at newspaper articles, but it's always based on simple fact that it was a powwow tree. But nobody knows anything more about it than that, except in imagination.
Forward, we have 5 very special people to thank. This would never have happened without the help from these very 5 special people. Of course, it was more than 5 people that made this happen. It was a whole community. And, like I said before, the saving of the Pow-Wow Oak and the land and the honoring of the memory of Mr. O'Hare, which had gone forgotten and has finally been rectified, was a group effort from day one. Some of us may have worked a little harder or a little longer. Some of us may have given more money or more time. But without all of you, this would have never happened. So once again, thank you all very much, and a big round of applause for all of you. I would be remiss if I did not mention that we did have assistance from the Tewksbury Historical Society, whose founding members, some of which are here today, Reverend Sears, Doug Sears, Attorney Sears, Gene Winter, Warren Carey, Louise Hunt, Beverly Bennett, thank you all. I would also be remiss if I did not mention that of all the money we raised, the first $1,000 that went to the restoring of that sign, which had been spray painted silver and was all rusty and destroyed, the restoration of that sign, which cost $3,000, the first $1,000 came from the Demoulas Foundation, from my friends, my good friend Artie and Maureen Lewis Demoulas. Their family contributed much support, both Maureen's family and Artie's family, to the restoration of that sign and of this tree. So thank you very much to the Demoulas Foundation and Artie and Maureen Lewis for restoring that sign. There are too many people to thank. I would not want to make you stand here forever to hear all the names I need to thank. I could not thank them all. But once again, I want to thank Kathy Van Greenby, Mr. O'Hare's granddaughter, Nancy Reed, Steve Hattan from the Belvedere Neighborhood Group, Bill, Councilor Mercier, all of you. Cheryl, I can't tell you how many times we talked on the phone. The gazillion emails that George sent. God help me, I don't want to see a computer again. So now it's time to thank those 5 very, very important people who, without whose help, we could not have done this. So the first person I would like to ask to come forward, and if he feels comfortable saying anything, he's welcome to say anything he would like to say that his heart moves him to say. And if he doesn't want to say anything, that's fine too. But I am compelled to ask our good friend, our Pow-Wow oak tree ent. If you've ever seen The Lord of the Rings, you know who the Ents are, the righteous beings that protect the trees, right? We want to call forth our Pow-Wow oak tree ent, Mr. John Coppinger, who is the arborist who helped us save this tree. Mr. Coppinger,
thank you very much.
we all thank you, everyone in the community thanks you for your selfless devotion to this tree. And on behalf of all of the Pow-Wow protectors and the community at large, it is our great honor to present you with this small token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you everybody for doing all the hard work that I'm here to do. And hopefully many of you, I have 3 young boys I'm raising in the city of Lowell, and I hope that many years from now they can come by and appreciate this as well. So thank you all very much.
Anyone who knows me knows that before I became Mr. Pow-Wow, as Brian Martin calls me, thank you, Brian, I like that. I used to own the nature store, the health food store, the natural food store in Gil Campbell's building on Church Street. So I was the granola guru back in those days. And of course I sold juicers and I made juice and thank with all my heart for his countless hours of selfless work that he put into saving this tree. And he wanted to do it for free. He was going to do it for free. And I said, come on now. Nobody works for free. You're going to get paid. But if he had gotten paid what he deserved, it would have been $6,000, $7,000 or more. Because when we first set out to do this, we just wanted to put 4 bounds in the 4 corners. But thanks to the 2012 Lowell City Council, God bless every one of their 9 hearts, they created, through the help of the law department, Christine O'Connor, thank you, Rita, God bless you, they created the Pow-Wow Oak Tree Preservation Covenant, which was far more complex, far more complicated, far more work than just putting in 4 corners. It took hours. So, I used to make juice. I made a fresh batch of juice. It's very powerful. It's got garlic and ginger and all kinds of good stuff in it. And so, I know I have something special for him, but first I want to give him this juice. Please, a warm welcome to our good friend, Mr. Dave D.A.R. Mr. D.A.R., on behalf of all of the Pow-Wow protectors and the community at large, we all thank you for your selfless devotion to protecting forever and marking out the sacred land that the Native Americans have held sacred for centuries. So on behalf of all of the Pow-Wow protectors, please accept this small token, very small token, in exchange for what you've done for us. A small appreciation. He is a man of few words.
Thank you, everyone.
This is election season, and we all know that our great republic was founded on democratic principles. Sometimes that's nice. Sometimes it's a little hard, but that's okay. We're strong people. We can live through